Hello and welcome everybody, I am Brandon, and we got a buttload of Hogwarts Legacy news to talk about today. So yesterday we got a 14-minute long state of play all about the upcoming Hogwarts Legacy game made by Portkey Games. It's been quite some time since we've heard about this game actually, other than a few leaks and a couple teasers here and there. So without further ado, let's jump into the magical world of Hogwarts Legacy on another episode of Game Corner. Thanks for joining me everybody. If you like what I do, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and I'll stop wasting your time. So like I said yesterday, they had a 14-minute long state of play all about the upcoming Hogwarts Legacy game. It's an open world action RPG game set in the Hogwarts universe, specifically Hogwarts and kind of the surrounding area. I think you can go to Hogsmeade and stuff like that too. It is developed by Portkey Games and Avalanche Studios. I do think Portkey Games is like kind of an offshoot of Avalanche Studios, just like they deal with Harry Potter stuff specifically, and it's coming to pretty much every single console: PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, and it was announced that it's even coming to Switch, which is crazy. I genuinely can't believe they're actually getting it to run on that thing. The Switch version wasn't announced at first, but it was uncovered over by Warriors64 on Twitter, and later confirmed in an Avalanche fact page that it was indeed coming to the Switch. And as far as we're concerned right now, it's not supposed to be a cloud version, but I don't know, man. It's gonna take some serious tweaking to get that thing to run on there. So obviously you have games like Doom and The Witcher 3 running on the Switch, so I do think it's possible, obviously, but I'm definitely curious to see kind of what that's going to entail graphic-wise or performance-wise. Anyway, we have actually gotten a couple teasers for this game here and there, and then there was actually a couple leaks that had dropped maybe a year or two ago about this game. Really not much else other than it's an open-world RPG Harry Potter game that, you know, Avalanche Studios is working on. So it's definitely nice to get a really big, like, deep dive into kind of what this game is and what we kind of expect out of it. And goddamn, it is very ambitious from the looks of it. Right now it's set up for a holiday 2022 release date, and I know that WB Games is also releasing Gotham Knights in October, so I would be a little wary to see if we're actually going to end up seeing that come out at the end of the year. If anything, I think I'd count on like a beginning of next year release. That seems to make a little bit more sense for me, especially since Starfield is going to be coming out in November, and I have a feeling nobody's going to want to compete with that. That being said, this game seems to have legs to stand on its own, so I wouldn't be surprised if they end up kind of dropping it anyway, because it's kind of awesome looking. Surprisingly far along from the looks of it too. I'm really impressed that they took this long to show it off, and other than a few leaks kind of showing, you know, various random things from the game, this was a huge surprise. I'm not like a huge Harry Potter fan myself, but obviously I grew up with the series just like a lot of us, and I have to say, looking at all this stuff makes me very nostalgic. The game's set in the late 1800s, so it's way before Harry and crew, you know, even came to Hogwarts, and it has kind of its own original story. Red Dead Redemption 2 crossover, anyone? And with that late 1800s setting, you also have a bunch of really neat wizard clothing you get to dress up, and you can pretty much make your wizard look any way you want and dress them up however you like. They even show you off later in the game going to Hogsmeade and being able to, you know, put on various clothes and dye your clothes from the looks of it. So it seems like there's going to be a lot of really good physical customization options to be the most stylish wizard this side of Diagon Alley. And of course, no Harry Potter game would be complete without being able to choose what house you want to be a part of, and you of course can choose from Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and the best Harry Potter house, Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff all day, son. This game looks enormous too. Not only is Hogwarts huge and expansive, and it looks like the rooms and the inside even kind of changes and moves around like it does in the movies and the books. But like I said, you can also go to all the surrounding areas of the castle and also over to Hogsmeade, which is like this little town not far off from Hogwarts if you remember from the books. I'm really excited at the idea of there just being all these really cool secrets and like little nooks and crannies to find inside of Hogwarts. They seem to give you a lot of these spells that you can, you know, kind of interact with the world around you, kind of a la Breath of the Wild style. So I'm really hoping that kind of gives the game this tangible feel, like you can actually affect the world around you. Not to mention a day and night cycle and a season cycle even. So as you progress through the story, as you progress through the game, you're also going to kind of get to go day to day as a student at Hogwarts, which means you get to go to classes like potions and herbology, defense against the dark arts even. It totally reeks of Rockstar's Bully, and I absolutely adore it. Please let me bully other students and like run away from prefects, break into lockers, steal like, you know, little snacks out of there and stuff like that. Something tells me I'm not going to be able to beat up other students, unfortunately, but I have to admit, like, being able to go to class and kind of live your life as a Hogwarts student just sounds really cool. I mean, even this far into the trailer, you can really feel just the love and admiration that this team has for this world. It is just soaked through every single pore of this video game. Next up is combat. I was a little bit afraid because it was a WB game that we were going to kind of get that Batman Arkham Shadow of Mordor style combat, which, you know, is kind of like the wait, counter, attack, repeat sort of thing, which can get pretty boring after a while. That being said, it does appear to have a bit of a deeper combat system upon a deeper look here. Kind of reminds me of like a Jedi Fallen Order or something like that, except it seems to have a little bit more of an emphasis on like stunning your enemies, manipulating them, grabs, stuff like that. And oh my god, it doesn't even stop there. Everything from talents and skills, spells, potions, crafting, upgrading, growing, and even controlling beasts from the sounds of it. This game is seemingly packed to the gills full of stuff here. You can even go to the room of requirement, and in there it's like a whole base customization sort of thing. And then once you walk out of the room of requirement, it turns into like a town building sim. It is wacky looking, to say the least. At one point they even show you riding a hippogriff and like riding a broom around town, and oh god, that just like is just the coolest sounding thing in the world to me. I mean, there's got to be Quidditch, right? We can't have a Harry Potter game without Quidditch, and if they have Quidditch, I mean, that's going to solidify this for me. This is going to be fucking awesome. That being said, I am kind of curious to see how deep these RPG mechanics end up being and how all these sort of mechanics all end up interworking together, and kind of how all these systems end up interworking together. I know sometimes with action RPGs, they often kind of go light on those elements just because of all those interworking systems with each other, and I just hope they kind of don't go light on that stuff. I want like a really dense Harry Potter wizard RPG, man. That just sounds rad. Goddamn ambitious looking. We're gonna have to kind of see if it ends up paying off in the long run. From the looks of it, they're really, really far in development now. So once again, holiday 2022. I wouldn't be surprised if it got pushed back to like spring 2023 even. Anyway, that's about all the Hogwarts Legacy news I got to talk to you guys about today. I'm Brandon. This was the Game Corner on the state of play on Hogwarts Legacy. It's been quite some time since we've been hearing about this game, and it's nice to actually see some actual gameplay, and it's kind of nice to see some gameplay of this huge, expansive video game. Anyway, I'm Brandon. Thanks for watching, and have a kick-ass week.